Oh yeah, that color's looking much better. Kitchen bouquet to the rescue. Hey, it's been a while since I've made a video about making videos, but I have a video today that I'm super pumped about. This is Karif. They make a bunch of really amazing skincare products for both women and men. Shampoos and serums and creams and face washes and, even stuff for your beard if you have one. I just got done making a couple of videos for them. This is their organic coffee body polish, which you'll see in just a second. But usually with my professional work, with my YouTube videos, you'll see me use a lot of camera motions, a lot of sliders, a lot of movement. With these videos, I wanted to do something more still life, more stylistic and aesthetic. So I want to show you guys how I made these videos using only a tripod and filmed completely by myself. I'm filming this in reverse, starting with the last clip in my story. My camera is on a tripod, filming in vertical format because these videos will be used as reels or shorts and maybe in a square format for their website. Now, once I got the final shot, I moved over to DaVinci Resolve. So the first thing I'm gonna do is reverse this clip so it plays backwards. Then I'm gonna trim it up a bit. There's a lot of coffee videos out there already, so to make this one just a little bit different, I had this idea that I might reverse the entire video, audio and all. Now I'm just gonna move over to the color tab and first apply a LUT. The LUT actually comes with DaVinci. It's the Rec 709 Fujifilm D60. It gives this film look vibe that I'm going for. Now I'm gonna go over to the Fusion tab and clone stamp out some of these blemishes on the product. If you didn't know this already, it's a pretty cool trick in DaVinci and probably deserves its own video. But I'll grab my paint icon, drag it in between these nodes, click on my stroke tool up at the top, and then my clone tool over on the right. Then I'll go to work on these spots. After I'm finished, I'll select them, right click on one of the points, select center, modify, tracker position, go up to my modifier tab, right click on the tracker position to median 1 output, then track forward. You can see it does a pretty good job at removing that dust. I'm gonna add some slight movement because without it, it's really just a stagnant shot. I'm gonna increase the size a bit, then add a keyframe and go to the last frame in the clip and decrease it to the original size. And you can see it's not much, but it adds some spice to an otherwise still tripod shot. For a lot of videos, I don't think you need to blow the budget on highly specific gear to do simple movements. Like for this shot, I really just want this spoon to raise up and dump the espresso. But I also want it to be super smooth and really consistent so I can have a lot of shots to choose from. So just using some spare parts that I've had lying around the studio, I've rigged up something that kind of solves my problem. I've grabbed my focus wheel for my lens, a clamp from Small Rig, which I love these things, by the way. I use them all the time for pretty much everything. And then I've grabbed a few quarters to shim the spoon in place and I'm set. And with my monitor right here, I can see exactly what my camera sees and stick focus pretty much every time and rotate it pretty perfectly, not 100%, but it works in a pinch. Then in the edit, I applied the same LUT, did some color correction to get it looking really good, reversed the clip like I did before, trimmed it up a bit, then speed ramp the beginning right when the coffee grounds start to fall. Sped the start to about 2400% faster and the end about 1400%. The next few clips are pretty simple ones. I have my 100mm macro lens zoomed in here really tight so you can't see the glass at all. I'm gonna flip this shot in editing to give the impression that the beans are falling. The next shot, I'm pouring cream into some coffee to capture the swirl effect that happens. One shot will be zoomed out to capture the pour and the start of the swirl. Then I'll do another shot more zoomed in to capture the detail of the swirl. After about 5 seconds, the coffee starts to look flat and old and stale. And if you're photographing it for a long time, it just starts to look like black liquid. So pour some regular old dish soap into the coffee, give it a stir. It brings those bubbles back to the top layer and gives you kind of that freshly poured look. In editing, I give it some of the same color grade as before, and then reverse the clips to stick with my story playing backwards theme. Okay, so for this shot, I have this idea, and it's to pour the coffee and the cream on opposite sides of my product, behind my product, and it'll ripple and crash together in slow motion, and hopefully look really cool as an opener for my video. Now I'm gonna carefully place my product in the middle of my frame. I put a couple of makeup pads down underneath it to elevate it off the background, but also to keep that product hopefully from rolling entirely off the frame when the liquid comes crashing in. I've lit this product from one side with my key light and the exact opposite with my fill to give it a nice double side lighting and to make that light make it pop off this light colored background. Okay, so I took one shot, but it didn't really work out, so I've cleaned everything up and reset it all for another go. I mean, that shot was, cool and all, but I guess, one, I captured the pour in the shot, which I didn't want to do, but the biggest reason I want to take another one is that the coffee doesn't really resonate as coffee to me. The color is much too light, especially when compared to those other clips that I took where the coffee is much darker. So what I've done is I've grabbed some of this browning sauce, Kitchen Bouquet, and I've dumped it in the coffee and mixed it up in hopes that the coffee will be much darker on camera, especially on this white background. I think, the white background, the lights and all, it's just making the coffee become much lighter than it should be normally when you look at it in a glass. So hopefully this works this time and I can get both pours off camera. Oh yeah, that color's looking much better. Kitchen Bouquet to the rescue. In editing, I let the clip play at a normal speed of 120 frames per second, then towards the end, added a speed ramp right when the liquid starts to crash into each other of about 6,000%. Then came the time to add the much needed sound design to bring this all together. I created some liquid drips, some water pouring, recorded some coffee falling, and brought in a background track that I got online to make this final piece. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. If you did, drop some, comments down below. Give it a like, subscribe. It really helps out this channel, helps me do what I do. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Man, I need some more coffee.